how the Super Bowl really works. I'm excited for this video. I know the Super Bowl just happened, but I went, so I feel like I could give my own personal insight on it too, so it'd be really cool to, like, you know, converse about it.
The Super Bowl isn't just a football game. It's a logistical monster. Behind one kickoff is years of planning, billions of dollars, and one of the largest security operations in the country.
For the Super Bowl.
Entire cities compete for the right to host it. Thousands of workers.
Security's pretty lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. Snuck an edible into that bitch. Got in there with weed. Well, I don't know if they were searching for that. They did have drug dogs. They did have drug dogs, but I had that shit in my pocket. You walk through a metal detector and they wave you with a wand too. That's it. But they do have security guards everywhere. They have security guards, cops everywhere.
Volunteers, media members, and law enforcement agencies are involved.
They shut down all the roads outside of it. That was like part of my complaint was when I left through the west side, and I was supposed to go to the east side to get in my car so I could go back. Or not my car, get in the car. I had a driver. And we had to walk like 2 miles because every road was fucking closed. So I'm just walking on a highway all the way around the stadium, this big lap, because they close off every fucking road.
Private jets flood airports. Hotel rooms disappear.
Yeah, dude, booking a hotel was actually so painful in San Fran. The Super Bowl was in San Jose. There were about 0 hotels in San Jose. I didn't want to stay there anyway because everybody told me that was a dud city and there's nothing to fucking do there. And I was there for like a week. So I stayed in San Fran because it's only like an hour away. And even in San Fran, bro, the hotels were like $700 a night, $650 a night. It's horrible. And there was like 3 hotels that were open. Everything else was booked.
And for 1 week, everything in that city revolves around a single event. So how does the NFL actually pull it off? In this video, we're breaking down how the Super Bowl really works, from host city selection, Super Bowl week logistics, to broadcasting, commercials.
Bro, it was the perfect, I'm not gonna lie, like Levi Stadium in San Jose was the perfect fucking stadium for the Super Bowl. The amount of people that are showing up was not even a problem. Because there's San Jose Airport and San Fran Airport 45 minutes away from each other. 2 big-ass cities and Oakland across the water. You could, like, they had no problem holding that amount of people. Like, when they have the fucking World Cup in New Jersey. Cooked. C-O-O-K-E-D. Cooked. That shit's going to be terrible. Already overcrowded-ass state. And then on top of that, we're going to have millions of people flying in. You're on crack. Newark Airport, the worst airport in the fucking world. Newark Airport, worst airport in the fucking world, dude. We're going to have everybody flying in there. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Have fun getting your fucking flight 9 hours early to stand in line for fucking 6. Hell no. But I will say, I was worried that on the way home from the Super Bowl, I was gonna, like, be in a line waiting to leave at the airport. Bro, we left the next day at noon. We walked through security. There was no line. I was like, where is everybody? What happened to the 70,000 people that showed up?
And everything that happens once the final whistle blows.
At SFO? Yeah, there was nobody there. After party? Well, I left on Monday. Yeah, they used private jets. I was a chud. No, I wasn't, because there was an Eagles player on the flight with me.
The planning for the Super Bowl start with the selection of a host city. To host the Super Bowl, you first have to place a bid, which normally starts about 4 years out, and the NFL considers a multitude of factors to select a host city. The NFL...
I thought if you're the host city, you can't be in the Super Bowl. Am I wrong? When was the last time the Super Bowl was held in the city of a competing team? Yeah, in 2022. Oh, no, it's 2022. When the LA Rams... Yeah, the LA Rams hosted at their own stadium. And then the Bucks. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Well, I haven't been paying attention.
Well, considers stadium quality and capacity, obviously. But also many other factors, like hotel inventory, airport capacity, the climate of the city if the field is in a dome, security on hand, and corporate infrastructure. To get the game, Host cities will come up with intricate plans that cost millions of dollars to prepare. This may seem backwards, but it's actually an investment. For example, Las Vegas spent roughly $60 million preparing for the Super Bowl. But the return was massive, with an estimated economic boost hovering around $600 to $700 million, a 10x.
They made $700 million in their city in the fucking, like, 2 days that the Super Bowl, like, shit took place there. I'm not gonna lie, they were hyping it up all over San Fran. Like, when I was in San Francisco, I was there, like, a week before, and every business, every restaurant had, like, Super Bowl specials, Super Bowl themed things, Super Bowl this, Super Bowl that. There was, like, special events that were being held at Pier 39. Like, they had stuff going on just trying to rake money in. And it was working, dude. Everyone was going to that shit.
Return. These investments are in a number of different things. Host cities will often renovate stadium locker rooms.
I didn't know the NFL doesn't pay for the halftime show. I knew that I learned that like 3 years ago, that the artist has to pay for it.
Improve
or their sponsors. But they get the money back. It's still, you're still in set. The idea is like, hey, we're not going to pay you to perform, but when you perform, your music's just going to fucking spike, you know? Like when Usher performed, I'm using Usher as an example because he's kind of like an older artist that, you know, regained popularity. When Usher performed, his music like tripled. Like motherfuckers start listening. Yeah, people start listening to you again. Like Ludacris and Lil Jon and all those people when he performed.
Broadcast capabilities by adding new cabling for cameras and a host of other things. Cities will tightly map out traffic plans, trying to find the most efficient ways for fans.
How much do you think Kid Rock got paid to do the All-American halftime show?
To reach the stadium. Another important
probably $10 and a wet napkin
consideration is airport availability. There are plenty of commercial flights that will be arriving for the big game.
And he went, oh yeah.
But an even bigger consideration is being able to house all of the private jets. The Super Bowl obviously is just as much a social event as
what a problem to have. We have too many private jets coming in.
It is a sporting one, with thousands of celebrities.
Suck a dick, fly Spirit, bitch.
Athletes and business moguls.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, we have too many private jets coming in. Some of our clients, all of our billionaires aren't able to come in. Fuck off.
Given this, a ton of private jets arrive every single year for the Super Bowl. For Super Bowl 58 in Vegas, approximately 882 private jets flew into the city for the big game. The year before that, in Phoenix, a record 931 private jets. Insane. Super Bowl is labeled as an NSSE, short for a National Security Special Event. This means that a multitude of different security groups need to work together to ensure a smooth, safe event for everyone. That means a group effort and collaboration between the Secret Service, FBI, Department of Homeland Security.
Yo, I don't know if they had to do with it. There were so many homeless people in San Fran the day before and the day of the Super Bowl. None. I'm telling you, I would walk down an alley where there would be 9 homeless people on the sidewalk. When it was the day before the day of the Super Bowl, they were gone. I don't know where they were, where they put them, if they moved out or something. I moved out. I don't know where they moved them.
State police and local law enforcement. The exact number is tough to pin down, but it is estimated that the FBI, DHS, and Secret Service contribute anywhere from 500 to 700. State and local law enforcement between 1,200 and 2,000. And roughly another 200 to 400 from the National Guard. All told, well over 3,000 plus security members help secure the Super Bowl. To house everyone visiting, hotels work overtime. In New Orleans, it was estimated that 43,000 hotel rooms were roughly 90.
Yeah, hotels working overtime. Meanwhile, my hotel has one plunger that they pass around for each person when a fucking toilet clogs. I mean, you gotta be goddamn kidding me. Oh, we're really hyping up the Super Bowl here. Why do we not have a plunger in every fucking hotel room? I mean, what type of stupid shit is that? I have to call you? I call the guy. You'll see it in the vlog. I was getting mad. Like, I clogged my toilet. I tried unclogging it with my foot. It doesn't go, okay? It doesn't go. And this is like a 20-minute process, right? I'm giving the double flush, the triple flush. We're on the brim, right? Like, the water's almost spilling over. So it goes down a little bit. And, you know, I end up getting a hanger, and I try mushing it down with that. It does nothing. And chat, keep in mind, the poop's gone at this point. It's just toilet paper. It's just toilet paper. And I ended up washing my foot. It was fine. So I jam my foot in the toilet. Does nothing. So I end up calling them. And I go, hey, I clogged my toilet. There's no plunger in the room. And they go, oh, we'll bring up a plunger in a minute. I get a knock on the door. And this guy comes up. He's wearing a suit. He doesn't even look like a janitor. And he's holding the plunger in a trash bag. And he's like, can I come in? And I go, no. I don't say that. I go, I could do it. And he goes, are you sure? I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? There's something alive in the fucking bathroom, dude? No. What? I'm a grown-ass man. I don't want you to fucking unclog my toilet. What the hell is this? So I go, give me the plunger. So I take the plunger, and I fucking shut the door in his face. I go unclog the toilet, and then I bring it back. I go, here you go. And he goes, thanks. I go, thanks. And then he walks away. I go, hey, this is an interaction we could avoid. All you got to do is put a plunger in the room. How much is a plunger? $5? $10? $12? And I tell Brooke this, and Brooke's standing there. She's listening to me talk to this guy. I go, who the fuck would want him to plunge their toilet? And she was like, you'd be surprised. And, you know, I ended up thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, there probably are some, like, really, like, richy people that are like, could you unclog my toilet for me? Fuck out of here. I want to unclog. I don't want somebody, like, you know how weird that would feel if I let this guy in my hotel room and then he's just sitting there just mushing. I know that looked weird.
3% occupied.
Gross.
In Vegas, that number was tenfold. 413,000 hotel rooms were booked between Friday and Sunday, the week of the Super Bowl. Although this is expected for a city like Las Vegas, where many people probably visited to enjoy everything Vegas has to offer during America's biggest sporting event. Who makes up many of the people attending the Super Bowl? Volunteers, of course. 10,000 plus volunteers help every single year with the Super Bowl. This includes everyone from airport greeters to fan experience staff and traffic coordinators. Concessions.
I don't think I saw a single person he just mentioned.
And traffic coordinators.
Nope. Traffic coordinators, yes. None of the airport greeters.
Concessions are also incredibly important for the Super Bowl experience. People need food to eat while enjoying the game. There are roughly between 2
chicken nuggets and French fries. That's what they had.
And 3,000 core food and beverage staff working the game. But given this is the Super Bowl, they need a little extra help. To handle this, an additional 1,000 to 2,000 workers are brought in to help serve people food and drink. Most interestingly, the revenue gained from concessions alone is astronomical. It is estimated that anywhere between $6 and $8 million is grossed on concessions alone. That is
I feel like that's majorly from alcohol too, bro. They were charging fucking 19. Dude, no, it was $20 for a 19-ounce beer. I was like, wow, I'm paying $1 an ounce. $1 an ounce for fucking piss. For piss water.
a lot of food and drinks. Lastly, the most important attendees of the big game are, of course, the coaches and players. This includes the 53-man roster, plus 2 to 4 additional reserves, 20 to 25 coaches, 15 to 20 medical/training staff, and another 25 to 30 operations personnel, totaling 115 to 130 people per team. And believe me when I tell you this, their schedules the week of the Super Bowl are crazy. Super Bowl week is hectic, to say the least. Teams normally arrive Sunday before the Super Bowl to get settled and have a lengthy week of activities ahead of them. On Monday, the festivities begin, most notably opening night. On opening night, individual players and coaches from both teams are at podiums. Thousands of media members gather around them to ask questions and record viral moments, like this interview between Deion Sanders and Marshawn Lynch several years back.
You look good. Shit, you do too.
The event is also commonly open to fans as a ticketed event. The host stadium.
Do that many people watch opening night? I think I've only seen clips of opening night like once or twice ever.
Will often play hype videos for each team.
Yeah, clip farming night. That's what I'm thinking, bro. I'm like, I don't think anybody taps into opening night the week before.
Music and entertain with team mascots. In total, it is about
show screening out. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, you just see me pass out.
90 minutes and gets most of the media obligations out of the way early, allowing teams to focus on football later in the week. Tuesday through Friday are much more football focused. Teams hold full practices and media events are limited. While coaches and players will still conduct individual interviews on these days are way more tame than opening night and allow players to focus on what's important. Saturday is when things really tighten up and calm down. The teams normally hold light walkthroughs and media sessions are at a minimum, with only key players and coaches holding brief interviews. Most of the players' time is spent in hotels, reviewing film and mental.
Bro, Joe Burrow be getting injured so often. I could so see Joe Burrow making it to the Super Bowl one day, and then the day before, they're like, he has the stomach virus. Joe Burrow has contracted the Black Plague. And then every Cincinnati fan goes, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Prepping for the
But Joe Burrow somehow got a new case of Ebola.
next day.
He's going to be out for the rest of the season.
On Super Bowl Sunday, everything is tightly scheduled and feels like it is timed down to the minute. Players are required to be up and at breakfast around 7 hours before kickoff. Teams will often hold a few additional meetings for position groups and then head to the stadium 3 to 4 hours before kickoff. For travel to the game, teams obviously have police escorts and NFL security to ensure a safe arrival, and teams have a fixed window of arrival set by the league. Upon entering the stadium, players will get additional treatment needed and then begin warm-ups 90 minutes before kickoff. After warm-ups, players will head back to the locker room for some last-minute speeches by captains and coaches before being introduced for the big game.
I feel like that's not that different from a regular game, though, no? Like, he's talking about how the Super Bowl really works. I feel like how teams, obviously it's a lot more serious because it's the Super Bowl, but how teams are treating their Super Bowl game is like a playoff, like any playoff game. Like, I think there is a little bit more rest probably in between because you don't want to be, like, at all lethargic and then you're going to put it out all out on the field, you know, because it's the last game of the fucking season or the postseason, but still.
And then the show really starts. To showcase the spectacle for those not in attendance, a broadcast is needed, of course.
I will say, I think that they are getting more and more geared towards TV viewers than stadium viewers. And I think they have to kind of get a mix in between there. Like, Bad Bunny's halftime show, I really liked, but it was clearly made for TV, right? Similar to, you know, last year's or any of the years before. Like, most people say, like, Rihanna, I think, had one that was, like, really good for, like, the in-audience and TV people. But it's, like, all of it's around TV-focused TV stuff. So it's like they do like fan shit, but like if I'm being honest, outside of the halftime show, the Super Bowl felt like any regular season game. Obviously, there's more shit on the line, so it's more hype, but there's no different feeling. You're in a regular stadium. It's the Levi's Stadium. Maybe they decorate it a little bit more. But it's just it's just a football. It's a football game. Like, you're going to a big football game. That's what it is.
4 major broadcast channels that retain rights to host the Super Bowl, rotating every year. They are CBS, Fox, NBC, and ABC.
That game was ass. I will say the game was very lackluster the first half. The second half, I thought it got good, especially in person. It was pretty hype watching like an interception and shit. But yeah, no, it was just straight 4 field goals.
Under the most recent deal signed in 2021, the first 3 channels have the rights to 3 Super Bowls.
Worst offensive line I've ever seen from the Patriots. Yeah, Drake May was throwing the ball like he was pooping his pants. I really thought he was locked into when they were showing him at the start. I really thought I was kind of getting nervous, man. I had my bet placed. I was like, wow, the Patriots look pretty good. And then I saw them hike that first ball, and I went, never mind. Yeah, O-line. I mean, their whole offensive team did bad. They had no yards, no ball possession. Like, one of the things that I saw from a Patriots fan was like, he was like, there's some solace or like some, I guess, closure in knowing that we got outclassed, is what he said, right? When you have a close game in the Super Bowl, it feels really bad because it's like, damn, we were right there. But like, they got dogged, right? Like, they did not deserve to win. And that was like shown clearly. Like, there were no bad calls. It was just they played like shit.
The commentators for each are as follows: CBS's A-Team of Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, Fox's Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady, NBC's Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, and ABC/ESPN's Monday Night Football hosts Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. This year, we will get an extra dose of Tirico and Collinsworth, as it's NBC's Super Bowl to host. To make the broadcast happen, the hosts need cameras, and a lot of them. In last year's Super Bowl, Fox used well over 100.
Bro, the fan. Did they show like fan clips with you guys on the TV version? Like not in person. Were they panning to the fans a bunch? They have like 100 cameras at all times. 3 rows down from me, they gave a kid a sign and kept a camera on him for 30 minutes. And he's just holding the sign, watching the game, waiting for it to cut to him. Never cut to him. And I saw the same shit like sprinkled around the crowd. Like every section, they had a camera guy like panning between. They were showing a kid that was a Patriots fan and a kid that was a Seahawks fan. Kid that was a Patriots fan, kid that was a Seahawks fan. Never showed either of them on the screen. Like they dead ass. Like you would think that they have like 4 guys that are just like kind of running around the stadium just showcasing a few people. No, they have like somebody every section. They have somebody all over the state or all over the stadium, and they're only showing like 5% of the people they have cameras on.
100 cameras. And Sony added.
Why were they recording them? They were waiting for what they were doing was waiting for something to happen, right? And because nothing happened, they never showed him. Because I think the kid had a Patriots uniform on, and so every time the ball went to the Patriots, they put the camera on the kid with the Patriots uniform, and they were waiting for the Patriots to score. And then I think they were going to pan to him, but they never scored. They were just never scoring, at least when he was there. So they just left, and so he just stood there.
An additional 250. 6,000 plus credentialed media members are at the Super Bowl. And while not all of them are operating cameras or microphones, many of them are.
They're going to take a look at that.
They are the unsung heroes of the production.
That fat ass camera. That's what it was. But I don't know. I don't think it was Fox. It was that big. There was guys with like shoulder cameras just walking around the stadium. That's what was really different. Like when I've gone to other football games, they have those guys, but not near. They had so many people.
They capture all of the important moments we see throughout the game and everything that fans tune in for, outside of those just watching for the halftime show and commercials. Speaking of which, another major draw to the Super Bowl are the commercials, which for many people are more entertaining than the Super Bowl itself. Throughout the duration of the broadcast, anywhere from 80 to 90 commercials are aired. 50 to 60 companies run these commercials, and while recent estimates aren't available, it was reported that 56 different companies ran commercials in 2022. Last year, Anheuser-Busch had the most runtime, with over 3 minutes. That was 30 seconds more than what they had spent.
Yeah, 3 minutes too. That probably, in 2022, that still probably cost a shitload. I think this year it was what, like, how much was a second? I think it's $300K a second. It gets more expensive every year. An average of $8 million for a 30-second spot. 2025, some spots sold for over $10 million. So it depends on the spot. I'm assuming certain parts of the game are more valuable. And it's harder, too, for companies. And you never think about it. But they have to market towards how drunk people are getting. Because, like, the average Super Bowl viewer, not only is the Super Bowl encompassing people that are, like, 4 years old to, like, 100, but it's also, like, the average viewer is hammered. So you have to, like, somehow captivate their view and also assume when you want to have do you want your ad shown when they're more sober or more drunk? You know, are they going to be paying attention? Or are they going to be, you know, kind of tapping out, you know? Because near the end of the game, people are really locked in if it's close, but you also have to guess if it's not a close game, people might actually just turn it off. There's so many, like, things involved.
In 2024.
That's why they try to make them funny. It's why they try to make them funny. You gotta have it short, sweet, to the point, and you're done, right? Every time, dude, and I just this year's marketing was towards like older millennials because they were just like panning the nostalgia. I was watching a whole video on the ads because I couldn't see the ads myself because I was at the game, and I just always like knowing like what they're trying to market. What I'll say, Pepsi ad was good. Michelob Ultra ad was good. The Dunkin' commercial, vomit, throw up. It panned, or it did well for, like, the age demographic they were going towards, but it was literally just like, hey, remember us? I'm CGI'd so I don't look old as shit. Remember me? Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, and I saw the Svedka commercial. I mean, fire whoever. Yo, you put $8 million for a 30-second ad and you fucking chat GPT the whole fucking thing? Are you kidding me? It was dog shit. I saw that, and dude, I ended up going on Svedka's account before, and they were marketing that for weeks before. I gotta show you all the ad. Wow, that's bad. Also, editor, bleep that if this becomes a video. But wow, that's bad. And then he drinks it, and it, like, goes down, like, his, like, robot torso.
Spend in mind, what do Super Bowl
Like, you can promote AI as a useful thing and a useful product, but, like, no one likes watching AI commercials. People don't like AI content. You can't do that anymore. It was cool when it started, and, like, companies in, like, early AI days could do an AI commercial. People would be like, oh, this is actually kind of cool, right? This is, like, AI generated. Now it's, like, lazy, slop.
commercials cost? Last year, it was between $7 and $8 million for 30 seconds. That doesn't include the cost of shooting the commercial, producing the commercial, and, where applicable, paying the celebrities that are in the commercials. However, considering that there was an average live viewership of 127.7 million people last year.
Well, that's a problem the NFL's also having, is the NFL's losing a younger audience. And that's what they're trying to recaptivate. I think they're actually doing a pretty good job at it. That's why the NFL actually had their own ad during the Super Bowl, if you saw that. Because younger Gen X, or not Gen X, Gen Z and younger Gen Z people don't watch, like, regular in-season games nearly as much as, like, millennials did when they were our age.
That level of investment somehow seems justified. The other major draw for at-home viewers, and those in attendance, is the halftime show. The first step is selecting a performer, a delicate and well-thought-out process. The first and most important factor is popularity. The person must resonate with over 100 million viewers. The next consideration is cross-generational recognition. People ages 5 to 90 years old watch the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, you need to have, there's always, like, a pullback. I feel like Bad Bunny is actually, like, one of the newer people they've used. Like, Kendrick Lamar last year, Usher the year before, who was before that? Like, those two, like, Kendrick obviously still makes music, but, like, Kendrick is known even to, like, people in their 40s because he was making music in the early 2000s. Yeah, then Rihanna. Like, I think the best, I don't want to say Bad Bunny was a bad pick because he wasn't. I thought he did a great job, and he's obviously one of the most popular people. And I think they also picked Bad Bunny very intelligently to try and pull in non-general or generic viewers, right? Like, Bad Bunny being the halftime Super Bowl performer probably roped in an audience that normally wouldn't watch the Super Bowl. And then also people that know him, because it's like his audience is also just very worldwide. I'm surprised, though, that they picked somebody so new, because, like, old people don't know who Bad Bunny is, which is probably part of the reason they were complaining, outside of them just being like, he speaks Spanish. I speak Spanish, right? Like, people just complaining about that for some fucking reason. Like, you don't listen to Spanish songs, right? Like, everybody listens to fucking foreign music time and time again. Anyways, Kendrick blew up in the 2010s, though. Yeah, but even then, somebody blowing up in the 2010s is going to be known by people in their 50s. No, we don't. I think most people do. I think that's just you. I mean, maybe it is just me. I think I have a more diverse music listening taste, but I think that is a little crazy if you don't listen to any foreign music. None. Like, that's, like, you're missing. I don't want to say, like, obviously it's your life. Like, you're missing out. Right? Like, I'm letting you know. It doesn't matter if you don't understand what they're saying. You can still enjoy foreign music. I don't. Yes, you did. And here's an example that broke everything Gangnam Style, you stupid fuck. Because you listened to Gangnam Style, and I know you did. You were probably 5 when you heard it, or maybe you're older and you were 15, 20, who knows. Everybody and their fucking mother listened to Gangnam Style. And that was a fucking foreign song. So to say that you've never listened, Despacito, bitch, you listened to that 3 summers ago. And I know you did. I know you fucking turned that shit up if you heard it on the radio. You heard Despacito, and you went, that shit's heat. Now it's, turn that bitch off because that shit's overplayed as fuck and it sounds like ass now. Despacito's terrible. I would never want to listen to that song now. 3 years ago, though, fire. And guess what? 6 years from now, Despacito's going to be heat again because it's the 10-year effect. 2026 back to 2016. Music that sucks 2 years ago is fire now that was good 10 years ago. So when you hear fucking you go, Panda. You hear Panda, 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 and you go, maybe that song wasn't that bad. 3 months from now, it's going to be ass again, right? But there's a good span. It's like that Minecraft week phase, but it's longer span. I'm really rambling. The edible's kicking in. Sorry.
The person performing should be recognized by the large majority. And, of course, if the person is internationally recognized, that is a huge plus as well. After sifting through dozens of options, a performer is selected 3 to 6 months in advance. Then
who would be another really good Super Bowl performer? Somebody with worldwide, The Weeknd. But didn't he already do the Super Bowl? When was that? 2021? 2021 he did. I don't know. Pitbull would be really good worldwide and just also known. And that's what I'm saying. Nobody would complain if Pitbull did the Super Bowl, bro. I'm not gonna try and rant right now. Who would be another one? I mean, like, if you're going rock, you could do like Radiohead. Like, I feel like people would all know Radiohead or Creed. Radiohead, Creed. If you're going like vibe shit, who would also be good? Rihanna. I mean, I feel like they use everybody that's really good. Britney Spears. I could so see Britney Spears in like a year.
the performance is
Even country you could do. The problem is like country Super Bowl shows are boring because you can't really do like most people are going to go with like hip hop, rap, pop because it's always going to captivate a larger audience. Like, I'm not saying country music's bad. It's not. It's just like a country performance is going to be a lot less TV pizzazz than like a hip hop show would be. You know, it's just going to be some guy with a guitar just, and I wanted to go down. Like, it's going to be good, but it's not like a show. It's just a good song.
no different than a regular halftime performance.
Like, halftime shows now feel like music videos. 10 years ago, it was just a concert, right? But now, like, a halftime show, that's what I'm saying. It's like TV shit, bro. Like, it's all like, hey, we need this to be a big thing that people talk about.
Still has tight time constraints, and the show typically runs about 13 minutes. An additional 10 to 20 minutes is needed for teardown, and then we're back to the action.
Yo, and they ran those motherfuckers out, though, dude. Right when halftime was called, it was dead ass 15 seconds, and I heard a guy, because it was like quiet, some guy was like, go, go, go. And they all started running, all the Bush people that were like literally, you thought they were just props, but they were people wearing Bush outfits. Fucking, dude, you saw them, and in unison, they all ran in a line, like, just sprinting, full speed. All got lined up. Then they had to fucking assemble that house or whatever. They disassembled that house in like 30 seconds. Like, right when it ended, they just got everything off. That was the coolest part of the halftime show. Watching them haul ass to set up a movie set, film live for fucking 12 minutes, and then put it back down.
Beyond the timing, the cost, however, is where things get really crazy. The shows can cost anywhere from $10 to $20 million to produce, and we have seen a ton of great performers. This year's performer is Bad Bunny, but icons like Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, and recently Taylor Swift, who set the record for most costume changes last year with 7, have at one point graced the stage. The wild thing about selecting a performer is almost no one gets selected twice as a headliner. Only Gloria Estefan, Beyonce, and Justin Timberlake have headlined multiple times. It's an exclusive club.
Be a Justin Timberlake halftime show. That motherfucker just gonna be holding the mic up to everybody. You see him do that shit? Dude, the amount of artists, the amount of like white guys in their 30s that like sing, and whenever they do a concert now, they just get the audience to sing the whole thing. I'm like, yo, we paid to see you sing it. Hey, If I wanted a listening party, I'd just get in a room with, 10 of my friends. Like, what are we doing? I sing the song. Or like rappers too. When rappers do that, like, I get you doing it for like a popular line, but like, I mean, maybe once or twice.
Twice as a headliner, and a true testament of a performer's popularity. The game and the halftime show are obviously the major draws of the Super Bowl for those in attendance, but the Super Bowl is a one-of-a-kind experience. And how much does it cost? The cheapest seat last year on resale markets just before the Super Bowl started was anywhere between $2,200.
That's what it was this year. I saw a TikTok of a guy, he got one for like $22.05. The average cost of a ticket this year, I'm not sure about average, but like a normal section, like non-nosebleeds, was about like $5K.
And $2,600.
Like day of. Weeks before, maybe like $8K.
The average resale ticket price last year was $8,076. Tickets for first row in the 50-yard line, upwards of...
That's not that bad. Oh, no, it's extremely overpriced. It's extremely overpriced. It's because resellers know they can get that value, right? It's like the average person that's getting those tickets isn't reselling them for, like, they didn't get those tickets for that amount. The NFL's not making the money on that. Like, they're not the resellers. The NFL is not making the money on the ticket sales. Like, the NFL's not getting the 8K. Josh, with 3 kids that's reselling his tickets, is getting the 8K, right? It's like somebody that's reselling the ticket.
$56,000. Insane prices. But they are nothing in comparison to the suites. The tiers are normally as follows. Upper Bowl run around $2,500. Lower Bowl can run between $4,000 to $10,000. Club level tickets are between $8,000 to $15,000 and offer super unique experiences. 50-yard line and sideline tickets range between $5 and $20K. And
yeah, anything directly behind an end zone is going to be a lot cheaper than I think corner views actually might be the cheapest. Most people want to buy seats on the sides here, and then you have club level. Then people do like being in the end zones to support their team on, one of the halves. And then just nosebleeds nobody wants.
The Super Bowl suites are crazy. Super Bowl suites last year ranged between $750,000 and $2.5.
Well, and a lot of the Super Bowl suites they're not getting bought by individuals a lot of the time. Like, you might have a Super Bowl suite that's just owned by, Morgan and Morgan. Like, a bank or a brand or a company is going to reserve this for $2.5 million and invite investors and invite famous people and invite things like that. So a lot of the people that are in these suites aren't actually paying to be there. They're getting bought by a company or brand that's then sending, 30 people to be in this suite.
Million.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Speed and Mr. Beast were in the same suite or some shit. I wasn't in a suite. I was in the stands. Section 231.
That is one expensive game. Of course, there are a lot of perks that come with it. At least we'd hope so, for the price.
Suite seats are definitely the best way to view the game, in my opinion. I think outside of being on the field, I think being on the field is a better fan experience. But the best spot to watch a game is the suites. You have your own fucking it's the all-encompassing aspect. It's not just the view. The view, I think, is one of the best. You have your own fucking bathroom. That's everything. Not only do you have better seats, like more comfy seats, you have probably a fucking open bar. You have your own fucking bathroom.
The suites include anywhere from 15 to 50 seats, depending on the size. They also come with buffets of gourmet food prepared by expert chefs, multiple flat screen TVs, service staff.
TV shit's stupid, dude. If you're watch the fucking game. Why are you watching on the TV? Only spot, you know where they need to put the TVs? The fucking bathrooms. I think the problem with that, though, is then people would stay in the bathroom and not miss shit, and then that would cause, like, clutter. Only spot where I was watching the game on the TV was when I was in line to get a drink. Yeah, two Bud Light seltzers. Tap my card. Yeah, thanks, boss.
Many packages offer meet and greets with players, field access before the game, and exclusive parties only for suite holders. Is that worth the price of admission? Speaking of money, gambling during the Super Bowl is huge. Last year, it was estimated that 1.3...
Chad, I'm not gonna lie. I may have lost some of the winnings that I won betting on the game on DraftKings, like last night.
$9 billion.
May have bet on an Olympic thing randomly that lost, and then I kind of tried to win it back playing Hold'em poker.
Was gambled on the Super Bowl. According to the
1.39 billion was gambled on the Super Bowl?
According to the American Gaming Association. Other estimates indicate that overall gambling was a lot larger, totaling over $6 billion. Who placed the largest bet, and how much did they place? Mattress Mac, who you may have heard of, still holds the record for.
I think, okay, there was an old man that looked just like him who got Fan of the Year this year? Ed Callan. Oh, no, it's not him. Ed Callan was on my plane. Or Ed Callahan. Oh, he was the Eagles Fan of the Year. Yeah, this guy and the Eagles player was on my flight home. He sat right behind me. What a guy. Not Mattress Mac. I was going to say Mattress Mac is worth about $10 billion. Some bullshit.
For the largest bet, when he waged $5 million on the Cincinnati Bengals to win Super Bowl 56, breaking the previous record of $4.9 million set in 2002. That bet is still a drop in the bucket compared to the $1.39 billion that was gambled. So
there's definitely a higher bet than $5 million. I think $5 million on record. There's guaranteed been people that have put like 50 mil on a game. For sure.
What are all these people gambling on?
No, there isn't. Yeah, there is, bro. I feel like there's got to be. Bro, you're telling me some billionaire's never been like, y'all put 50 mil on this? Because it's just throwing money out, bro. Who cares?
The winner, of course.
Like at that point, like you're worth fucking $10 billion. You'd be like, yeah, 50 mil.
But more importantly, the prop bets. And believe me, there are a ton of crazy prop bets. Obviously,
coin flip. Gatorade color. Will there be a quarterback to score a touchdown? Is there going to be a scoregami? What else? Is there going to be a streaker? That's only on certain things.
You can bet on players' yards, touchdown scorers, and others. But
those are the random bets. Yeah, but you could regularly do just same game parlay.
Super Bowl offers a unique menu. The most famous are the over/under for national anthem.
Ooh, I was saying that. I think Charlie Puth did a short one this year.
Anthem length, the color of Gatorade poured on the winning coach, and the result of the coin toss. But some sports books get really creative. Props offered on some sportsbooks in the past have included crazy things like whether or not a player will propose after the game, whether or not an octopus, a touchdown and 2-point conversion by the same player will happen, if there will be a power outage, this happened during Super Bowl 47, if there will be a wardrobe malfunction, also happened before, and a host of others. The craziest prop bet that actually hit was whether or not there would be a streaker during the Super Bowl, although this one was removed for hilarious reasons. In 2021, a fan placed a $50,000.
Yo, this video was made before the Super Bowl, and then the same guy did it this year.
Bet that the
odds were only like plus 300.
Would be a streaker during the Super Bowl at plus 750. So what did he know? Well, apparently a lot. The fan then
that's not the same guy.
Attended the Super Bowl and made sure his bet hit in the most hilarious way possible. He was in line for $374,000 payday, but the sportsbooks obviously found out he gamed the system and
yes, it is. That is not the guy that Super Bowl streaked this year.
Voided the bet. Wild. Once
it is. He lost weight, dude. He looks so much different.
Game is over and a champion has been crowned. The bets have been cashed. The cleanup.
If that's him, that looks like an entirely different person.
Begin. This may seem like a long drawn out process, but the host city and stadium normally has a ton of help. Within the first couple of hours, most of the trash inside of the stadium is actually removed and thrown away. After all of the fans have left, the deep clean begins. This is completed by stadium staff and special workers hired just for Super Bowl cleanup. Deep cleaning is completed over the next 6 to 12 hours. The workers power wash floors.
Oh, that wasn't him. It was, Alex G did it most recently before.
Clean bathrooms, remove field markings, logos, and NFL markings, amongst a litany of other things. By the next morning, almost everything inside the stadium is cleaned up. But the trash and mess left behind outside the stadium is the real problem, and takes much longer. Over the next 2 to 3 days, volunteers helped tear down and pick up all of
people just throwing out trash on the side.
the fan events and trash that are left over from the massive event. All told, it takes roughly 72 hours to clean up after the Super Bowl, which, if you consider the sheer size of the event, is actually quite impressive. From there, audits on spending and reviewing of finances begin. These take quite a bit of time, but they are really the only thing left to do after the cleanup has been finished.
All right, I don't care about any of that.
And Super Bowls.
20 of the most watched Super Bowls. 23, 24, 25 in a row. And then it was just bouncing around, though, after that. That's kind of weird. Why was 2018 so low? Who played in 2018? Wasn't it the Eagles? That was the year the Eagles won. Why was that so low? Why was that a low? Dude, that was a great Super Bowl. Well, I mean, I thought it was a great Super Bowl. Anyways, I have to piss, and then we're going to watch the next video. That's